There's no denying that rabbits are the most adorable pets on the planet. But as rabbit owners, we might not know all there is to know about them. In fact, the gap might lead us to do stuff that doesn't sit well with the furballs. In today's video, we'll be talking about 10 things rabbits hate and wish you'd stop doing. Number 10. They don't like being picked up. You might like to pick your rabbit up and give it a good cuddle every now and then, but they don't like it one bit. In fact, they're actually scared during the whole ordeal. It's an innate fear that comes from them being prey animals for hundreds of years. So when you pick them up or drag them out of their territory, it reminds them of their days in the wild, when they were being hunted by predators. What's more, these adorable creatures have poor eyesight, so when you pick them from the back, they actually can't tell whether it's a friend or foe. You might have noticed them struggle out of your grasp in this situation. Well, that's just their reflexes kicking in. And if that's not enough for you to leave them alone, maybe the danger of damaging their spines will be. It's not common knowledge, but rabbits have fragile spines, and you can end up breaking them when they're trying to wiggle out of your grip. So if you care about your rabbit, make sure you approach them from the front or use treats to do your bidding. Number 9. They don't like to be laid down on their back. The same goes for them being laid on their back. When you force a rabbit in this position, they go into a trance-like state, which is pretty much similar to paralysis. It's because when forced to this position, rabbits automatically assume they've got a predator on their tail. So it's not a surprise that the trance state is pretty stressful for them. The little furballs will try to escape your hold, just like how they do when you hold them from the back. This squirming motion can also pose a danger to their spine. So if you love your rabbit, just leave them alone and let them hop around as they please. They'll love you more for it. Number 8. They don't like it when you cut their nails. Most rabbit owners consider cutting their rabbit's nails when they're all sharp and pointy. The occasion comes around every few months, and it's pretty painful for them. If you're not too careful, or if it's your first time, you could cut your rabbit. If you don't want to cause them pain accidentally, it's much better to leave the job to the expert, aka the vet. But in case you find that option a bit expensive, you could look into filing a rabbit's nails. Doing so reduces the number of times you need to give them a trim. Number 7. They don't like carrots. As shocking as it may sound, rabbits are not carrot fans. Bugs Bunny may have a hand or two in spreading that misconception, but the truth is that rabbits want you to stop feeding them carrots. Carrots and other root vegetables have a high sugar content that's actually harmful to your precious pets. Instead, they need a lot of hay or grass. But make sure you don't feed them freshly cut grass because that's toxic. The ideal diet will consist of 90% hay and 10% treats from time to time, like carrots. It'll help keep them healthy and their digestive tract working properly. The hay-rich diet will also help them keep their teeth in use, thus preventing them from overgrowing. Number 6. They don't like loud noises. Much like the grumpy old grandpa on your street's corner, these little fellas don't like loud noises either. After being hunted in the wild for so long, rabbits associate such sounds with predators. Even though they've been out of that environment for so long now, the fear never went away. On hearing any loud noise, rabbits will assume danger is lurking nearby and freeze up. So if you don't want to scare the poor fella, make sure you aren't blasting any loud music with your rabbit in the room. Some adult rabbits do adapt to loud sounds with time, but it's not really a given, which is why it's much better to take precautions. Number 5. They don't like being chased. This one kind of speaks for itself. By far, you've probably understood that rabbits are very fearful creatures. They'll get spooked by the smallest of actions. With that said, chasing your rabbit is an incredibly bad idea. It might be playtime for you, but it's a game of life and death for them. They're not hopping around for fun, but for their lives. If you do it enough times, they'll eventually stop thinking of you as a safe space. Of course, that doesn't mean you can't play with your rabbit at all. You still can. You could use a treat to lure them towards you. This way, they'll be the ones chasing you instead of the other way around. Number 4, respect their boundaries. Rabbits may be the cutest animals on the planet, but they're not one to welcome any intruders in their personal space. They're pretty possessive of their living spaces, much like cats. In fact, they've allocated different spots to serve different purposes. They'll eat, sleep, and go to the toilet in separate places. And just like you don't appreciate someone coming into your room and rearranging your things, rabbits don't like it either when you do the same for them, regardless of how good your intentions are. They won't claw your eyes out or hiss at you on the intrusion, but they will stare at you and continue staring until you remove yourself from their personal space. So, if you want to stay on good terms with your rabbit, make sure to respect their boundaries. Number 3, they hate car rides. If you're too attached to your rabbit, you might feel like taking them with you as you drive out of the city doing your many errands, but your furball doesn't deem it as quality time. They'd much rather be home. Most of you might not know, but rabbits have a hard time being comfortable in a car. For them, it's a new environment with weird smells and sounds that they can't make any sense of. They could get used to it with time. Still, don't make a habit of it. Only buckle them in for a drive when it's absolutely necessary, like a trip to the vet or to show and tell at the office. Number 2, they don't like cages. Rabbits are not fans of cages. They like their open spaces where they're free to hop around to their heart's content. With that said, you should really let them roam around the house, only putting them in a cage when needed, like when they need to stop running around at night. Of course, letting them roam free comes with its own set of problems. What if they wander out of the house? Well, in that case, you could look into getting a big cage for them, one where they can get ample space to move around. This way, you'll be able to meet their needs as well as address your own concerns. Number 1, they don't like their sleep disturbed. Like most animals, rabbits don't like getting their sleep disturbed. You might bother a peacefully sleeping rabbit from time to time to play with it, but trust us, they 100% hate you for it. Rabbits are crepuscular animals, meaning they're active during dusk and dawn. Naturally, you'll find them sleeping the rest of the time. Rabbits already sleep on high alert, some even with their eyes open. It seems like the years of trauma that came from being at the bottom of the food chain never went away for them. To this day, the poor creatures are incredibly light sleepers and wake up on the slightest of disturbances. You don't want your precious rabbit to feel like that in your house, so it's better to let them sleep as much as they want without bothering them. In case you really do have to wake one up, make sure you have a treat in hand so they'll be less grumpy. So, do you know of any other things that our precious furballs want us to stop doing? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to INFORAMA, and we'll see you in the next one.